Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Christy's Beautiful Life 30 Days of Sketches Round 7. And if you'd like to see the layouts on Instagram, hashtag 30DSCBL7, or you can post one with that. And this is a sketch we're going to be using today, and it has bright yellow. And I'm going to go ahead and use bright yellow because it reminded me of a photo that I have. And this is the photo, and that's my grandson Jason and my daughter. And see, he's got bright yellow on. So yeah, I'm going to use that. And I'm going to use that tube watercolor. I thought that's probably the brightest yellow that I have. Also, I got out my water brush. And if you all were looking at the screen at the right time and right place, you would have seen I dropped a glob of yellow paint in the bottom left-hand corner. So that means I'm going to be making a little cluster down there. I lifted my paper up and added more water to the page. Plus, I got a little bit of that other color to make it darker because I want it to have that wicked look, wicking, where it all kind of puddles in one place and it looks darker there. And so, since, it's the bottom of my big glob of yellow stuff, I wanted it to wick. And I didn't do enough. Yeah, you will see later that I didn't put my picture up high enough. I do not notice it till I'm done with the layouts, took the photos, and then I notice it looking at it on the screen. So I went back in there and added some just so I'd have it. Well, then I remembered I didn't use my enamel dots. So I will have that part at the end. I'll cut out what I did this first time around and have the enamel dots. You will not see me painting it because that'll already be done. But you will see me put the enamel dots on. And you'll see the final result with the wicking there at the bottom where I went ahead and did it again below the photo. I thought it'd be easier than moving the photo, and I knew I couldn't move the honeycombs. To look at that paper, you would have thought I went down far enough. Here I'm taking the yellow ink. I'm using the Distress Squeeze Lemonade just to make my clear vellum yellow, and you can still see through it. You can see the grid underneath it, and you will be able to see the bumblebee underneath it too. I am going to do one bumblebee on screen and then the other two off screen just to make the video shorter. And you can always rewind if you miss something. You don't know how often I rewind videos. Think, oh, did I miss that? Of course, generally I am scrapping while I do it. So I'll be listening and I'll think, okay, what did they do? And so I have to hit the rewind on my remote. Thank goodness for remotes. Here I cut out two of the bodies, and one I had to cut by hand to cut pieces out. And I'm going to go every other one, black, yellow, and so on to the bottom. So the top and the bottom one will be black. And then I think it's 3 rings of yellow in there. And I'm inking all around. It's not a very dark ink. And I probably could have got away with not inking the ones that are directly under the wings. But I inked them anyway. And I like them better with the ink, of course, because y'all know I like the ink when I'm doing paper piecing. But this is a Sizzix die. It's really old. It's one of the red ones. And I've had it forever. I mean, like, since the first time I got a Sizzix die cut machine. And I'm sure what was the first year I was scrapbooking? My daughter and I went halves on it. And guess who still got it? I'm not using it because it was the one that had the press looking thing. But yeah, I got it a long time ago. And I've used it a lot too. I like it. It's just adorable bumblebee when it gets done. I think it's just because of the swirls on the wings. And it comes with a ladybug on the same thing, and it has plain wings. So I could have used the plain ones, but I like the one with the swirls, so I put it on both the ladybug and the bumblebee. And then the head is interchangeable too. So yeah. So imagine that as a ladybug instead of a bumblebee. It's cute. But yeah, odd number, so I made 3. I've got my white gel pen and I am doing some highlights on it. I did 2 on one side and 1 on the opposite side. And I'm going to lay one down, then realize it was the wrong one I wanted there. So I will be moving it. I'm matting my photo with the yellow and then the black. And that photo's of my daughter and Jason, as I said. And this was Halloween. I am not doing a Halloween layout for it. I have a couple others I'm going to do Halloween for because I don't think I've done them yet. I'm pretty sure I haven't, but I'll double check. But yeah, he asked me, he says, "Do you know who I am?" And I looked at him and I thought, Power Ranger? Well, I opened my mouth and said that, which was wrong. Everybody in the room, all in unison, said, "He's Bumblebee." Yeah, I was wrong. And then, of course, I'm looking at him again, thinking, okay, what did I miss? Well, I missed the headlights right there in the front. And how could I miss those things? I don't know. Looking at the screen, y'all seen me tear that piece of paper. I mean, it was the hardest thing I ever had to tear in my life practically, besides some craft colored paper I did one day. Yeah, so then you see me cut it afterwards, and you will see me cut the next one too, because it was easier to tear if I didn't have to tear it apart. So yeah, I'm cutting them and then I'm turning around, tearing the edge, just so I have the torn look instead of the cut look. Who knew cardstock was so hard to tear? But this is the honeycomb from Tim Holtz. And uh, one thing I have learned about hexagons, if you want it to look like a hexagon, you make it flat on the top. And if you want it to look like a honeycomb, you make it pointed on the top. And so, of course, I have them going up the page because I want them to look like honeycomb today. And I'm putting my photo on foam tape. However, it made it easier for me to go ahead and paint the bottom one. Uh, but yeah, I do not look to see where I'm actually putting it. I'm kind of doing it according to the honeycomb that I already put down. And so I don't look at the bottom, but look, there's no paint down there on the bottom. And the whole idea of all that work earlier was to make it look wicked at the bottom. I don't think my second go around looks as good, but I went with it anyway. And somehow I got one of them crooked. I thought I looked at that too, but apparently not. So I thought, well, if I get the little bumblebee just right, it won't look quite as crooked, but it still looks a little bit. But yeah, it don't look quite as crooked with that bumblebee right there. And I am going to make my title, and I do not have a capital B, but I'm going to make one. I turned my letter, the W sideways, so it kind of sort of looks like a B. Then I cut off the end of the Z because I figured I probably wouldn't be using it anyway to make my B because it is a proper name. He is Bumblebee in the picture, so yeah, I made it capital B for the Bumblebee. Although I was tempted to use a lowercase just because I like it. And here's where I walked back in the other room, got the SD card, went back, and videotaped me putting on the enamel dots. But as you can see, the wicking area of the paint is already done. But if you look down there below, you'll see links to Christy's Facebook group, to Christina's Redefined Creative for a live video of the sketch every day, plus oodles and noodles more people that are doing the sketches, some every day. And that's it. That's my layout. And isn't he cute as Bumblebee? Y'all probably knew that was Bumblebee as soon as you seen him, especially with all the yellow. But yeah, if you leave a comment below, I'll get back with you if you like the video and hit a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, I'd love to have you subscribe. And those of you already are, thank you so much. And also thank you for the comments that you leave down there below. When I'm doing this 30-day thing, I get so far behind on them. But I'm going to be working on catching up. I am reading them all. Just haven't had time to answer. But yeah, that's it. That's my layout. And I hope you all have a happy, scrappy week. Try this sketch and see what you come up with. Bye.